Now, it's been a week of anguish and violence, but America Fest is bringing hope to a generation that has been seeking it. The headlines from 2025 have told the story. Data showing again and again Gen Zers are returning to church in huge numbers, leading a religious revival across the country. And now, in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination, America Fest, Turning Point USA's biggest event of the year, is underway for the first time without Charlie. And TPUSA's signature event sold out with a wait list as tens of thousands of young people gather in Phoenix, Arizona. Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, carrying the mission forward.
What I'm inspired by is the fact that Charlie and I, again, will go wherever we need to go, but so will you. That's why you guys are here. All of you are here because you know that you're sitting saying, I want to do something. So that's why you came here. Last year, Charlie reminded me that this was his Super Bowl. When Charlie first came up with AmFest, he thought to himself, who would not love to celebrate America? So we're going to name it AmFest. And that's what he did. Your ideas matter. Your decisions matter. And he would say this country is still worth defending and still worth sacrificing for. So my challenge to you this weekend is very simple. Don't just attend AmFest. Let it mark you. Let it stretch you. Let it challenge assumptions, strengthen convictions, and maybe even make you a little uncomfortable, because that's where growth happens.
America Fest offers an outlet for conservatism, but also for faith. The biggest names in the conservative movement will take the stage, Vice President J.D. Vance and House Speaker Mike Johnson among them. But faith will take center stage as pastors and faith leaders share a message of hope with Gen Z and the country. And joining us live from Turning Point USA's America Fest in Phoenix, Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh.
Emily, it's so great to be here. I've got to tell you, I just walked backstage and I saw this huge sign of Charlie, and underneath it, it said, "For Charlie." And off to my right, there's these beautiful young women. They say it's their first time at AmFest, and they came because of Charlie. If you didn't think Charlie changed the world, come to AmFest, and you will see that he has indeed changed the world. And I think it's apropos, Emily, that today, at the very beginning of the Friday session, Greg Laurie, who you know, Pastor Greg Laurie, is opening with prayer, a message of faith. And Greg Laurie actually went back to the site of UVU, where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And at the very site where Charlie lost his life, 2,100 students committed their life to Jesus Christ. Charlie Kirk has started a movement. He said on our network on August 21st to Lawrence Jones, "I want to see a revival in this country." Charlie Kirk has started a revival, and all these young people are evidence of that. It is very beautiful to see.
Oh, Kayleigh, that's so heartwarming. And talk to us about what everyone is saying, what the tenor is like, as they appreciate the fact that Turning Point's Super Bowl is kicking off without Charlie, but newly charged with a new mission to continue looking up.
These young women in particular, they are so inspired by Erica Kirk. Erica has picked up this mantle. You know, Charlie changed young men. He did. Erica is changing young women. And this generation, they're desperate for something. You know, I saw a poll last week, Emily, 2 weeks ago from Axios. It said 57% of Gen Z do not believe that there's a bright future in this country. One of the reasons they cited is political polarization. Well, Erica is about to take the stage later this afternoon. She's doing a Prove Me Wrong in the spirit of Charlie. So people of all different opinions will get to a mic, will come talk to her, she'll listen to what they have to say, and she will speak back. It's civil discourse at its best. And I would also just say one more thing, Emily. I was a young kid, like a little bit of a nerd growing up. I was an 8-year-old doing chants for Bob Dole on the playground. I didn't have an outlet like Turning Point Point USA to come to. These kids are going to change the world. I believe there's a future president here, a future press secretary, a CEO. They are charged, they're motivated, and at AmFest, they give them the tools to manifest their dream. It's very cool on many levels.
Not a nerd, Kaylee. You were inspired, and we are grateful for that. I think Jeremy has a question for you as well from the couch.
Well, first off, let me just say I have like the biggest case of FOMO not being there, the fear of missing out. I'm so jealous. I'm so excited for what's going on there. There definitely seems to be a revival.
I think my audio dropped.
No worries.
I'm so sorry for that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
Okay,
what I was going to say was, look, there's revival happening on these college campuses, and we're seeing the evidence of that, especially at events like TPUSA, where you have a lot of young people who aren't afraid to say two things. One, they love Jesus, and they love their country. And those are the two things that matter. And you know, they can call us what the Christian nationalists or whatever, call us what you want. But people who love Christ and love this country, unashamedly going out. You know, I think about my sister-in-law, she's at UGA, and she's been texting me about stories of people coming to her church who have never been to church, people being baptized, literally, and recording it, putting on social media, a lot of those videos going viral of them being baptized, and all of this energy, and it's amazing. Only God can take a situation that was so tragic, with Charlie being assassinated, and turn it into something so beautiful that we're watching right now at AmFest.
That's right. As we know from Scripture, he turns everything into good for those that love the Lord.
Right.
And I want to make sure that you all know, watching from home, that Kaylee will be hosting her show Saturday in America live from AmFest in Phoenix tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, which will be such a special show. So make sure that you tune in for that as well. Lisa, a lot to unpack here, but a lot that's uplifting and inspiring coming out of Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie's alleged killer believed that in killing Charlie, he would kill the movement that Charlie has helped lead and create. And obviously that's not happening. We saw that by the 20 million people across platforms who tuned in to his funeral, a stadium packed full of people. And then also with this AmFest, a record number in attendance, something like 30,000 people. 80% of people have never attended one before. Kaylee had mentioned she talked to one of those individuals as well. 1 million students engaged in Turning Point as well. So these numbers tell a story that Turning Point is not dead, right? So Charlie might have been murdered, but Turning Point is carrying on. I will say, I didn't realize what a big role Charlie played in uniting the Republican Party, and we are seeing a divide since he was murdered. I mean, President Trump, the America First movement is sort of this hodgepodge, this eclectic group of voters. And Charlie played a big role in helping to unite that. So now with Charlie's murder and with President Trump's time coming to an end in the White House, you know, where does the Republican Party go? But the good news is that Turning Point is alive and well and only continuing to grow, and that's a positive thing for this country.
And I think echoed in some of the messaging last night on opening night, Molly, which was one for unity for the party, as Charlie always called for.
Yeah, and Erica Kirk's such an inspirational figure. And the way she's been able to step in and handle things in the wake of her own personal tragedy has been utterly amazing. I think Kaylee touched on this a little bit when she was speaking about what an inspiration Charlie Kirk was for young men across America in the building of families, in the building of faith. And in fact, there's been a trend since the pandemic of young men, Gen Z, turning back to the church. And the opposite happening with young women. And now we see Erica Kirk stepping into what is really, you know, a momentous challenge. And we'll see if she is part of turning that around as well, which was the mission that Charlie and Erica were on together, which was to build the American family. And so perhaps this is what we're going to see as the next steps as we go forward and watch everything unfold.
I was going to just say that Charlie Kirk built something that obviously is outliving him. And it's so beautiful to see 80% of these people have never been to something like this before. And faith is front and center, especially during this holiday time where we talk about baby Jesus and bringing people together and families together. It is so wonderful to see faith front and center. Charlie Kirk believed the next generation didn't need to be managed. They needed to be inspired. And obviously, they're all there to be inspired. And what a great time. It just signifies the whole holiday spirit right now.
Indeed. And I'm just going to check one more time to see if we have Kaylee. Do we have Kaylee there?
I'm back.
Oh, great. Oh, yay.
There she is.
We just wanted to have you wrap up this segment, Kaylee, with your final thoughts on this amazing AmFest.
all of your tributes, they're just so apropos for this moment. They're absolutely spot on. I mean, Lisa, you talked about the Republican Party. There's nothing like this on the left. And when I look at these breakout sessions these young people are going to, should I run? That's a breakout session. Should I run for office? The young people behind me. How to make sure Arizona doesn't become California. That's another one. This is putting a political fire under students, too. And let me just tell you on our way out, are you guys excited for AmFest? They are pumped. They're streaming in. It's an exciting time. And in a world of bad news, Emily, as we close out 2025, there's good news here at America Fest 2025.
Indeed. And Kaylee, we will be watching your show tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, which will be so exciting coming from AmFest. So bless you, Kaylee, for doing your incredible work there. We're so proud of you. Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.